I was talking to somebody the other day about how many times, can you imagine how many times a professional musician sings their own songs for like a new album, right? Not just learning them to the subconscious level of where they're not even thinking about it, to where they're actually doing it on stage. And then when they're not even on stage, they're still practicing. They're still saying it over and over again. They're saying it in their shower. They're saying it while they're walking it down the street. They're doing all these things, and they're always saying it over and over and over and over and over because that's their job. Their job is to essentially repeat words and sing a song. Where comedy is different is similar to the ebb and the flow of the ocean, right? When I do jokes, I do not continue the next the next part of the joke until the crowd laughs, and then it comes back to me, and it's very interactive. It's me, them, and we continue to go back and forth, which I think is beautiful. It's very different than singing. I have this new hour, and I am so excited. I'm so excited to say it. Comedy, as with music, it's very... everybody has different types of styles and stuff like that. But my biggest goal for the last year or so has been to be the type of music that doesn't matter, that reaches across genres, and really can just make people laugh no matter what their walk of life is. And I feel like I've hit that mark, but there's always that 1% that they're like, I don't really, you ever know, you know how there's some people that no matter what you say to them to try to give them an example or give them something to agree with, now they're trying to like win an argument. Just a general example, they can't ever agree with anything. There's those 1%ers, and not the good kind, the bad kind, the annoying kind, right? Where you're like, well, some days it does rain, and they're like, no, it never rains. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, but, yeah, so I have my new hour that I've finally got, and I'm really, 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 really excited. And now I'm just really stuck, not in a bad way. I'm in the continuous, semi-permanent phase of just refining a product that's already finished and making it better and better. And how do I make it better? I repeat it. I say it in my shower. I'm walking around like a crazy person, talking to myself. I'm riding my bicycle, I'm driving, I'm everything that I'm doing, because that's the job. The job is to have it known to the subconscious level, no matter what happens. There could be a plate that drops in the middle of a comedy club, and I know exactly where I'm at, and it doesn't faze me. Don't even skip a beat. The biggest change, the biggest transition, in my opinion, of all comedy, there's something weird about music where it's like the songs don't really chain together. It just ends, and then a new one begins. It's not like that for comedy, typically speaking, because it's sort of, you try to have like a transition, but not always. So a lot of times you'll be talking about one thing, and when you're done finished talking one thing, you'll kind of like open up the door to another, right? Or you could just go from A to B. You could start talking about airplanes, then be talking about boats, but how is that grouped together? Modes of transportation, right? So, anyway, I know I'm ranting a little bit, and this is just me talking out loud. Again, I'm excited. I got this show. I keep saying it's in Oklahoma. It's really not. It's actually, they're in Oklahoma, but the show is going to be like right outside the edge of Oklahoma, so still in Texas. But either way, I've been drilling it and drilling it and drilling it and drilling it and drilling it. And I feel like that's the only way, whether it's jujitsu or comedy, whatever you're into, drilling it to subconsciousness, to basically, know it cold. So I'm excited. I'm excited about it. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's a comedian that I greatly respect that once said that the jokes that you should be saying on stage are the jokes that you want to say on stage. I have a few different key rules as like guiding compasses as far as like what I say and what I don't say now, and what jokes I keep and what jokes I scrub. tone, pace. I got all these different rules, and I really feel like the more experience that you get something, you can sort of make your own rules. I like to do a podcast episode about, there's something in comedy called your voice. It pretty much means like your style. But I kind of feel like having a unique style is almost a hard thing, because there's so many, if you think a lot of different things are funny, well, then you're like someone that's a little bit more versatile. But there usually is something about how they present the information. Me, I think I'm just really analytical, and that's essentially my voice. But I'm also very sarcastic. So I'll make my goal is to always make like really good points, get people thinking, make them laugh about it, right? And if possible, make fun of somebody or something, even if it's myself in some way, right? I don't really think there's, in my opinion, I don't really think there's like it's a funny story unless something happens to someone or something. There's got to be someone that's impacted by something, right? And I'm not really giving a good example, but the general rule of thumb for that one is always be making fun of someone or something. I have to have a stance on it. I have to have a viewpoint on it. I either like it or I hate it, or it's ridiculous or it's dumb or something like that. But I got to be passionate about it. I got to believe it. You know what I mean? And I feel like the believability of not just me, but also getting people to agree with me, they can enjoy it too. You know, so I had this one joke where I was talking about, and I feel like it's true to a degree, but for the people it's true, I'll just say it real quick. So the people it's true with, it's like 50% accurate. Oh, excuse me, 50% of the people, it's 100% accurate. The other 50%, it's zero. It's not accurate at all. And it's basically like a stereotype about women and being in relationships and stuff, which is when they give their guys like two different options of, let's just say like places to eat. And it's almost like whatever you choose is the wrong option. Or if you choose the wrong option, they want you to choose. It's like they say it in one way, like they want one thing, right? But what they really want is the other. There's always this big stereotype about women being very indirect, you know, wanting A, but saying B, like, yeah, let's go out and do this. But they really don't want to do it. But there's a lot of women that aren't like that. So that's why it's sort of a divisive joke. And that's the kind of stuff that, in short, in essence, I try to avoid. Stuff that not necessarily is like bad, but it's divisive as far as the agreeability of everyone that I'm trying to convey a certain message. So I'm just getting a little too technical now, but I just, I'm excited. Just doing this quick little episode before wrestling / jujitsu, which is where I'm pulling up to right now, and I'm excited about it. So, yeah, my biggest goal is, again, I can't really rely on the audience, especially not being famous as of this very moment. And what I mean by that is having them know my style before they see me. So the way of overcoming that I've decided is being as broad as I can to get the biggest audience as far as like their mindset goes. Try to find the similarities amongst all of them and exploit that. Like make that into the material. But it has to be something that I'm also, on top of that, passionate about, I don't like, or that I think is ridiculous, or usually it's a point of opposition. I have a lot of stuff in the world that I don't like. So I think it's more funny. People always tell me that I'm more funny when I'm like kind of angry, pissed off a little bit, you know, and I'm just ranting on something compared to saying how great and awesome something is. You know, great and awesome doesn't really resonate too much with funny. But you hear a guy that's angry about something, to me, it's hilarious. So anyway, you guys have the best day. I'm excited about today because I'll just be rehearsing more, and I love these things that I'm saying. I get to talk about them, and even more about tomorrow when I get to say them on stage. So, guys, thank you so much for your time, and binge well done. Check me out. Peace.